leaders don't wear crowns. What do they wear? They wear an apron. But among you will be different. Whoever wants to be a leader among you must first be your servant. And whoever wants to be first among you must become your slave. The servant and the slave are the two lowest positions in Jewish society. And so, when we talk about the Gospel of John chapter 13, where again speaks about servant leadership, where Jesus washed the feet of disciples, it speaks about that we are willing to do whatever to bless others, to be like Jesus. Jesus, on that night in John chapter 13, he says that he loved his disciples until the very end. And he loved them in the ministry. And what did he do? After he had a meal with them, he began to take off his outer garment. And then he put on a towel, which is like an apron. That Jesus put on an apron. An apron symbolizes servanthood, being in the last position. Remember, Jesus says, if you want to be the greatest, you must be the servant of all. And so Jesus began to tie a towel around his waist. And he began to do something that shocked the disciples, because they never thought of even washing his feet as their Lord and Master. And worst of all, they will never wash each other's feet. Why? Because we know from the story, they were all fighting for position. I'm better than you. I'm number 1 apostle. You are number 12 apostle. I'm number 2. You are number 3 apostle. So they were all fighting for position. But Jesus began to shock their system and to bring a reversal to them. And Jesus began to say that if you want to be like me, if you truly love me, if you truly want to be a part of what I'm doing in the world, then you also need to do what I do. Can I ask Brother Darren to come right now? Where's Brother Darren? Yes, Brother Darren. Yeah. Brother Darren, come. Yes, just have a seat here. Yeah. Can you take out your shoes and your socks? Sure. You fold up, yeah. Darren is one of our leaders, and I did this in the first service to another leader. So Jesus, being the Lord and teacher, did this to his apostles. So I, being the main pastor, I have to set the example of being to my leader by serving him, so that he will catch the vision of the church that we are all servant leaders before the Lord.
Thank you, Pastor.
Okay. Think you can put on your socks and your shoe. You can put on. Before Darren goes, we say that Darren represents the leadership of the church. And this is where we are as a church. We don't follow any other leadership pattern or model, but the servant leadership of the Lord. It means no matter what our position, we are like Jesus. He took out his outer garment as Lord and teacher, and he began to put on a servant's attire, wearing an apron. And if Jesus, the Lord of heaven, was willing to serve, it means all our leaders are willing to serve. 3 reasons why they serve. Firstly, is because to show that they love the Lord. Secondly, is because they want to be identified with the Lord Jesus Christ. Every time we come to serve people. Jesus didn't come to start a foot washing ceremony, no. Although certain denominations do it, no. The idea is to show love to the people that we serve. The idea is to identify yourself with the greatest servant leader. And the thirdly is that we are here to serve others and not serve ourselves. So this is something that is so powerful that Jesus is teaching all of us. What I did for Darren is nothing compared to what Jesus did for the apostles. Because Jesus was not just a good teacher. Jesus was God himself. God came down so high. What I did for Darren is what Jesus did for disciples is 1,000,000 times different. Because Jesus was already in heaven. And he came down to be a man, to wash the feet and to go to the cross for you and I. So what I would want Brother Darren as a representative and all the leaders who are here, you downstairs, all the leaders to do a tunnel here. Can I ask all the Connect group leaders, the ministry leaders, we are going to do a tunnel here where the servant leaders are here to pray a blessing for you.
For you, Lord, you hold my world in the palm of your hands, and I am yours forever.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Jesus, I believe in you. Jesus, I belong to you. You're the reason that I live, the reason that I see. Jesus, I believe